Oh, hello. Hi. What's happening? YouTube people. It's me, Mr. Eric Bauer, back again with another video. And I didn't really have anything in mind. I wasn't actually even planning to shoot a video until I busted out the next episode of the High Defamation podcast for y'all to listen to. They'd be tied in, of course. However, this came up. I don't know, is this music too loud? It sounds pretty great from where I'm sitting. I had to poach the batteries from my remote, so put them in a different remote, because, you know, that's what people with remotes do. One remote dies, you take the batteries out of another remote and put those in that remote, and then you have to find batteries from another remote to power that remote, so on and so forth, ad nauseum, etc., etc. I just got home from work. Been kind of a long day, kind of a long week, a lot of bullshit. That aside, it's my weekend, and earlier in the week I came across a video, two videos actually, but it was the first of the two that prompted me to get this idea up in the old noggin. Vinyl Richie. If you don't subscribe to Vinyl Richie, I'm going to link the video that I'm replying to down below. He recently did a top 10 UK punk albums, and then he followed that up with the next 10. I'm just gonna do one. No reason to do two. I got a top 10, and I got some other ones that, you know, I just kind of wanted to mention that I pulled off the shelf real fast. So there's not really a lot of thought behind this video. You'll notice, astute ears will notice that in the background, listen to this. And in my opinion, the singles that Discharge released are way better than the LPs. Don't misinterpret my meaning. See nothing, hear nothing, see nothing, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. Hear nothing, see nothing, say nothing is a classic, as is Why. But I just like the rawness of the EPs. Granted, they kind of got hokey towards like 85, 86, which was when I think the last of their Clay Records EPs came out, right before Grave New World, which anybody worth their salt knows is a hot piece of trash. Not in a good way, like Celtic Frost Cold Lake. Yeah, that's right. I said Celtic Frost Cold Lake is bad in a good way. Or is it good in a bad way? I don't know. It's listenable. Grave New World is not. This stuff, however, just fucking ruling. It's like the quintessential Discharge, all in one disc. Don't get me wrong, the other shit's essential too, but they're not going to get mentioned in this video beyond now. Because, I don't know, I kind of looked at this more as a list of like the top 10 UK punk albums that I reach for, as opposed to an actual top 10. Like, I would feel like I would be super pretentious to be like, this is the top 10 best UK punk albums of all time. You know, I don't have that kind of authority. But I mean, I guess it all comes down to opinion anyway. So, without any further ado, let's talk about some albums that didn't quite make the cut, but they're ones that I fucking enjoy the shit out of anyway. We're also gonna see how many times I can say fucking, shit, hell, what the fuck, what the shit, what the damn. Anyway, the first one I want to talk to you about is actually a record that I don't technically own anymore, and it is Icons of Filth's Onward Christian Soldiers, which was released in 1984 on Mortar Hate. And I used to collect, back in the day, Mortar Hate releases, Crass Records releases, and Spider Leg releases. You know, shit happens, you lose shit. I happen to lose my collections of all of those things, sad to say. So when a sweet compilation was released for Icons of Filth Mortar Hate years, I had to snag it. This does include Onward Christian Soldiers. It's a pretty slick gatefold. I don't know. I'm going to try and not spend too much time showing the vinyl, but this is a nice treatment. The cover, I don't know. I like it, but at the same time, I think it would have been rad to use the Onward Christian Soldiers cover art, which you can see for yourself right here. That's the first album by Icons of Filth that I ever heard. And I snagged it at a record store that used to exist in Seattle called Fallout Records, R.I.P. It hasn't been there for many years, but it was a staple of going into Seattle when I was younger. After school, we cruised down there. What little money we had from what shit jobs we had, we'd blow on records, shirts, whatnot. Anyway, I found this, an original press, and it was pristine. This was probably around 93, 94 maybe, and it rules. It's like, you know, it's what I thought it was going to sound like, anti-sect, with some early Deviated Instinct vibes and some Crass Records sort of underlying atmosphere. You know, it's awesome. It's very fuck the government, fuck the bourgeoisie, fuck you bougie. Anyway, good shit. An album I come back to a lot, and definitely one I wanted to mention. Also, that's the back. Crass, Best Before, 84. I'm kind of hit or miss with Crass. I do like a lot of their material, but I also think a lot of their material is long-winded and not that great. This has every song that is good that they released up until 1984, and they released things past 1984, but yeah, this is great. You got Do They Owe Us a Living on here, Major General Despair, you got fucking Shaved Women, which sounds awesome. Baby Screaming, Nagasaki Nightmare, fucking How Does It Feel, Don't Tell Me You Care, all the good shit's on here. Everything you need. I would like at some point to find a pressing of The Feeding of the 5,000, because that album is probably my favorite standalone record by Crass. Rules. Next one gets a mention. Sacrilege, Beyond the Realms of Madness. This is a repress. Would love an original one of these days. Hussmort released it in the US. Children of the Revolution released it in the UK. This reissue from Relapse, it's actually pretty good. It's got the full album. It's a double LP. It's got the full album, the 86 demo, 2 tracks from 2015, and a couple live tracks. So that's side D. Side D is a throwaway. Don't give a shit. New tracks they're all right, but the only reason you really get this for the demo and for the original. And I don't know. I've seen this shown a few times. A lot of people complain about this cover art, which has elements that harken back to the original cover art. I actually kind of like this fucking painting. I don't know, I think it's pretty good. It doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that fucking live tracks at the end. It's stupid. Keep pointless live tracks off of vinyl and reissues. And then the next one, the last one that I wanted to give a mention before we got into... Oh, actually there's two. I lied. Vex, Sanctuary. This is actually a compilation put out by Sacred Bones, which compiles all of Vex's material, which was their singular album, Sanctuary, and an EP, if I'm not mistaken. If you're not familiar with Vex, I wouldn't be surprised because they're not super well known. And Vex play an interesting hybrid of death rock and punk. It's very kind of in the same realm as Rudimentary Peni or UK Decay, Joy Division, early Joy Division, like the 77 shit. And fucking, what did they call themselves before that? I can't remember what Joy Division called themselves before they changed their name to Joy Division. It'll probably like come to me while I'm talking about something in 5-10 minutes, and I'll be like, oh. Anyway, really good shit. Just super atmospheric. If you're into Rudimentary Peni, UK Decay, this is kind of a no-brainer. It's pretty raw, a lot of melody, a lot of angst, but yeah, it's fucking good. And if I can find it, where to put it? Shit. Blitz, Voice of a Generation. This is a reissue from Radiation Records, who do a lot of reissues. Chances are, if you have a UK 82 punk reissue on a record, it's a Radiation Records release. There's the band right there. Blitz was an Oi band, and this came out, what, 82, I want to say? I'm pretty sure this came out in 82. I could be wrong. It doesn't say on here, and I didn't write it down for the shitty notes that I took. Anyway, great fucking record, man. Just super fun, upbeat, pogo, street punk, fucking rules. It's got my favorite track, probably everybody's favorite Blitz track, We're the Boys. It's got fucking Warriors, that song rules. Scream, Nation on Fire, Criminal Damage. That song just smokes. So good. Whole album's just a burner, front to back. Alright. Now these 10 albums that I would consider my top 10 go-tos aren't in any real order. It's taken way too long. So, we're going to start with another tape. Can you see that? Can you see it now? Better? Exploited, Death Before Dishonor. And I know a lot of people reach for Troops of Tomorrow or fucking Let's Start a War, even horror epics before they reach for Death Before Dishonor, but this album for me came out in 87. This is it right here. Shit fucking just smokes. It's raw. It's fucking just savage street punk with a crossover metal vibe. A lot of this shit I'm going to talk about actually evokes kind of without peer at the time that this came out. It's fucking good. Say what you will about the Exploited. I mean, they're fucking, the Waddies are fucking ignorant bastards. But shit, it's where it's at. Next album. I gotta reach. I should probably get these where I can reach them better. Jesus. Wow, it's gonna be a disaster. Disaster! How about this music though, right? So good! So good! I don't even know how well you can hear it. Is it loud? Alright. Uproar. And the Lord said, let there be. And there was. Uproar. This album's awesome. 82. Is that right? 83. Boy. Street punk. Just killer fucking shit. The only issue that I have with this record is that it's totally front loaded. The first two tracks, Hell, followed by Born to Kill, are just perfect. This is a Doctor Strange reissue. I've never been to Doctor Strange, but I have 2 of their t-shirts, courtesy of some close friends of mine. Kind of a cool edition. It's on this marbly blue, which you probably can't see in the light that I have available. So, sorry about that. Anyway, I love this record, man. It's easily one of my favorite Oi albums. I don't know, some people might not even call it Oi. Just call it street punk. Like, these guys don't look like Skins at all. You know, that doesn't mean anything. It's just awesome street punk. UK 82 style, fucking rolls. If you want to hear a track off of this, like I said, you cannot go wrong with those first 2, but for my money, it's all about Born to Kill. That fucking album, or song. The album as a whole, but that song, that's it right there. Next record we're going to talk about, another Oi album. A few of those in here. This is a Blood with False Gestures for a Devious Public. This album's amazing. Just fucking amazing. Originally came out in 83 also. Released by Noise of all labels, if I'm not mistaken. This is a reissue from 1990 on Link Records. And yeah, another just fucking killer Oi release, street punk. They're a hard band to describe because they're not 100% Oi. There's definitely elements of pub rock in here. There's elements of fucking crossover on occasion that you can kind of hear. Not severely. Street punk savvy, sure. Red Link Records label. It's just awesome. If you want to know what it sounds like that cover art. I would compare it to the Uproar. It's similar. It's just awesome. It's essential. Front to back, there's nothing bad on that record at all. Next record. Take it out of the plastic. Got you. Disaster, War Cry. Fucking record is just another perfect example of fucking UK punk rock. Disaster were around about the same time that Doom initially was doing tunes. This album originally came out in 91, and it came with this very cool booklet detailing the history of Disaster. This is a reissue, I should mention, put out by La Vida SN Muse. Great fucking label, doing a lot of good shit. My version came with a flexi that contains demo tracks. Lyrics in this book, you got flyers. How about this show, man? Fucking killer. COC, Disaster, Next New World. I don't know what the Next New World is, but you got a flyer for them with Hell Crusher, played with Hiatus. Fucking just awesome. Chaos UK, Excrement of War. just a great band. It's like, oh, this is a good plan. Love it. Love it. I don't want to say it sounds like Doom, because it doesn't sound like Doom. It sounds like Disaster. Disaster kind of sounds like Discharge. I'd say they're definitely one of the top diss bands from the UK. If not the top diss band from the UK. I would probably put this album in with my favorite diss bands of all time. Right up there with Discard, Disgust. This album smokes. It's just savage, it's vicious, it's angry, it's political. So when I first heard this, my teenage years, as a wee lad, 1993, 92, 93, fucking blew my mind. I was like, I thought Discharge was brutal. Shit fucking kills it. And then I heard Doom, and then I heard Napalm Death. It was over. Both Thrower almost ended up on this list. I could argue that In Battle There Is No Law is a fucking punk record, but I left it off. I also left off Axe Grinder and In Good Conscience. I left off Amoebics. Controversial, but as much as I love the old Amoebics records, Rob has certainly done a good job of tarnishing the name of a band that I considered essential, life-changing. The Power Remains, Arise, they're still dear to my heart, but fuck Rob the Baron. How about that? If you got a problem with me voicing my extreme leftist ideology, get the fuck off my channel. Fuck fascism. Fuck fascist sympathy. Fuck you if you like it. Anyway, Extreme Noise Terror is next, and they fall kind of into that same rut as fucking Disaster, Doom. This album, Phonophobia, is an EP that came out in 1991, and in my opinion, this is probably another controversial opinion, embodies the best Extreme Noise Terror material ever released. Yeah. It's just brutal. I love the early Extreme Noise Terror shit, like the Peel sessions are great. The first EP, LP, Gather My Brain. The first LP is great and probably essential as well, but this had a level of polish, and it's not polished. This is raw shit. Love that fucking label. This is raw shit, but it had a level of, like, they knew their instruments when they recorded this, and they knew what they could do with their instruments when they recorded this. They knew what they were capable of beyond just the guitars creating chords and riffs. It's great. It's a fucking rad album, and if you want to hear something by Extreme Noise Terror you never have, this is where I think you ought to start. Oh, let's put the record on top of the cat. You want to see the cat, George? Oh shit! Say hello. Say hello. I don't think you like that. And I knocked over my records. Smart. All right, next record. This is probably one of my grails, one of my top records that I own. Crux, Keep on Running, split with Crash. Fight for Your Life. This album's awesome. It's a split 45, mini LP, legendary on No Future Records, a legendary label. This release, in my opinion, probably embodies the best of what No Future ever put out. Oi, both bands came out in 82. True UK 82, right here. The high point, easily the Crux side. The Crass side definitely gives it a run for its money. This is a funny little tidbit for you fucking metalheads. You read the special thanks list on the Crass side, and the first person listed, Colin Richardson. How many times have you seen his name on an album and not really thought about it? Anyway, this album's fucking fantastic. Whether we're talking, like I said, the Crux side, which definitely gets my vote for the better of the two sides. I'll Die With My Boots On. Shit, that song alone is worth the price of admission on this record. And then Fight For Your Life by Crash is probably the high point on their side. Just awesome, anthemic, angry, street punk, UK 82, oi. It's fucking fantastic. Next album, Broken Bones, Decapitated EP. And this came out in 1987. This is, it's so hard to pick a favorite Broken Bones album between Bone Crusher, this, FOAD. This one out though. I love every song on here. The whole record's good, and I love this picture disc. Fantastic artwork. Broken Bones sound like Discharge, a little bit more rockin', a little bit more metal, dare I say. Just an awesome effort. Like I said, you can't really go wrong with any of Broken Bones up until 88, 89. Dem Bones, amazing. IOU, also amazing. But like I said, for me, this is a high point. Don't get me wrong, I go back and forth and I listen to all of them. So good. All right. No delay. Charge GBH. Fucking leather bristles, studs, and acne. This is a combat version. Came out in 1981. Originally on Clay. And this is the first fucking GBH album. Preceded City Baby, Attacked by Rats. And it's awesome. I love this album. I love this more than City Baby, Attacked by Rats. Well, way more than the follow-up to that, which I still love. GBH is another one of those bands you can't really go wrong with their output up until about 87, 88. They kind of slipped. You know, they got old, but they still rage, and they still play, and they still rock the fucking hell out of the stage. This has all the good ones, all the good cuts. Sick Boy, Necrophilia, fucking, just so many good tracks on here. Knife Edge, Dead on Arrival, State Execution, No Survivors, Big Women. Just every song on this album is a fucking anthem, and it rules. And next up, we have, this is coming, right? You knew it. You knew this was coming. Doom. Fuck Peaceville. 1995. However, this material originally came out in 1989, released by Peaceville Records as Final Doom, which compiled all of Doom's Peaceville output onto one album. They had a beef with Hammy, which you'll see detailed if you open the gatefold and read this letter. Peaceville originally started out fiercely independent, true indie label. unlike like Earache, which I think out of the gate had a parent company. Hammy, though, after promising Doom that he would keep the label that way, ended up selling out to Music for Nations. They got in a beef. Doom left the company and has since never apologized for saying fuck Peaceville. And I'm not going to talk much about this because you should all be familiar with this material to some degree. You've got fucking LifeLock on here. I mean, you've got everything, you know, pre-90s Doom that you fucking need to hear. It's perfect. It's perfect. They messed around with the track sequencing on here. And for my money, I have a copy of fucking Final Doom as well. The track listing on this, I think, is superior. Just brutal, verging on grindcore at times, D-beat. It's awesome. Not much more to say about Doom. The last one, certainly not least, we're going to talk about English Dogs with their second EP, To the Ends of the Earth. This was another tough one, like the Broken Bones. Came out in 1984. This was where English Dogs' flirtations with thrash metal started. The metal period of English Dogs, as it were, which continued with Forward into Battle. It's on Rot Records. And then Metamorphosis. And then, God damn it. I can't remember the other full length. I've got it on the shelf, but I'm not gonna fuck up with it and reach for it. Anyway, this album is just perfect. Perfect EP. And I don't know, it's probably my favorite, like I said, English Dogs material. It goes back and forth though. Metamorphosis, fantastic. Forward into Battle, also fantastic. Where Legend Began, that's the other one. They're all great. This one just, it's a bit raw. It didn't have the benefit of being signed to a label like Combat, which I think Forward into Battle was Combat originally. I could be wrong about that. I know Metamorphosis was, and I want to say where Legend Began was Under One Flag. I could be wrong. Anyway, fucking fantastic, essential shit. This isn't easy to find. I don't think it's easy to find on CD even, but it's on YouTube. Fucking listen to it. I urge you to listen to all of these. They're all fucking great. And I could have put more on this list, but I want to keep it kind of short. As it is, I've already gone over 30 minutes. What the fuck? It's crazy. Anyway, next up on the High Defamation YouTube channel will be a video tied in with the next edition of the High Defamation podcast, which I will be recording this weekend. So it'll be up for your listening pleasure. I'm shooting for Monday, folks. Don't hold me to that, but I'm gonna get out of here. I need some food. You keep it real, YouTube. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subbing. Thanks for your support. Peace out.